Hi Capricorn, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign, Cappy, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week, you have the Moon card. The past is alive and kicking in some way, shape or form this week, right? And remember with the Moon card, very often this is something that is coming up that you maybe are a little bit confused about. The other thing is as well, for a lot of you, you could be seeing something from your past in a very different light. So this week the rose tinted glasses are coming off, right? You're seeing something quite possibly in a lot sort of a clearer sense. So that sense of confusion, maybe something comes up and your cognitive dissonance kicks in where you're kind of like, I'm not entirely sure I believe that. And then through some kind of personal, puzzling it out, you could come to a realization that actually, you know what, I'm seeing this part of my past or this event or this experience actually very different. With that Four of Swords as your actions and options card, this does suggest that not only are you puzzling something from your past out, but you're also taking a moment to really consider what your next move is. Now that it's kind of like a piece of information maybe comes to light, somebody says something to you and it puts a lot of things into perspective for you that allows you to kind of say, okay, yeah, I can kind of see this, or no, actually that doesn't work, and so therefore this is how I'm going to proceed. The other thing that I do need to make you more than aware of, I touch wood, I hope this isn't the case, but this week you could be having a lot of challenges sleeping. Sleep could be a little bit all over the place this week. Maybe because the dream realm is a lot more active than usual. Maybe because, fill in the blanks is going to be different for everybody. So, but this week, I would say it does look like the sleep is somewhat challenged. All right, for your communications and conversations, you've got the Devil card. This coupled with the Moon card, that is not an easy combination. And I'm going to tell you straight up, one of the things that I love about Capricorn energy is your ability to hold to something, right? And I always make this joke where like a Capricorn will just wait you out. Like if they're waiting to get their way on something, you won't get no kick in and scream it. Like they'll voice their opinion and they'll be very forthright about it. But there won't be any like dramatics or theatrics. They'll just wait for you to get bored, keel over, pack up, sell up and move, whatever it is, they will wait you out. This week, however, that does get the better of you, all right? There's something here that you are refusing to budge on, maybe something that you're refusing to see a different way. Now that we see this, obviously it tempers that Moon card meaning. And there's something either from the past that you're either reluctant or potentially at this moment in time unable to let go of. And it's like you just keep going over and over the same thing constantly. And to be honest with you, while usually that strategy really works for you to get what you want or to hammer a point home, this week it's a hindrance to you. You're getting in your own way. I'm just going to tell you that straight up. I've got too much love for my Cappy crew out there, you guys know I do. I got too much love for you guys to not tell you how it is, right? And this week I'm going to tell you straight up, and it's really interesting because Cancer, your direct opposite in the zodiac, also had a similar message. Theirs was about being overly aggressive. Yours is basically you're getting in your own way, right? Your ability or your refusal to let something from the past go and keep bringing it up and keep bringing it up and keep bringing it up. You're stunting yourself. You're stopping yourself from growing. You're stopping yourself from moving forward this week. So I gotta say, get out of your own way, all right? Now, when it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, if you're fighting the good fight in some regard, hey, listen, more power to you, do it. However, if this is just like, especially sometimes, in fact, most of the time, you need to stand for what you believe in. This might be one of those times where it's best to kind of stay quiet, do what you need to do, and then make waves at a later date. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this is potentially a recurring issue. So something that's come up before, not necessarily to do with you, but something that's come up either within the company before. You know, when you've got like those wastoid colleagues, like not in a, you know, everybody is worthy, da 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 da. I don't need to explain, right? Cappy's work ethic is a big thing for you guys. We've all had those people that we work with that we're just like, oh my gosh, how did this person get employed? Like this week, if you've had problems like that before, they could well and truly reach boiling point this week. The thing is, at this point, I'm not laughing because it's funny, but I'm laughing because I can literally see it in my head. You've reached that point where you're kind of not just boiling, you know, when something's at a rolling boil and you're like, any minute now I'm going to lose my shit. Try not to, all right? Just know that once you've ridden this week out, it will probably get a lot better. The other thing is as well, remember, all planets are direct now. So there's no retrograde energy in the air at all, whatsoever, none, between now and midpoint of April. There's never been, well, you know, certainly right now, this is go time, okay? And because all the planets are direct and there's no retrogrades, everything's your fault again. So, you know, you got to own your stuff. And this is why I say just try to let it be at a rolling boil. Find another way or a different outlet for that. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this could be, and I'm really sorry and I hope this isn't the case, but this could be a bill or a debt that either you've completely forgotten about or something that's kind of, you know, when you're like, yeah, I'm going to get round to that. You put it to the side and you completely forget it. This could be one of those weeks where maybe you get a crappy letter that says, if you don't deal with this, we're going to ... And it's not because you're ignoring it or neglecting it. It just looks like something you've genuinely forgotten. You know, it's human error. When it comes to your, oh, come on, brain. When it comes to your, those of you that are retired and no longer working, I think this week you're going to become acutely aware of how well or not you are using your time. Okay? And this week, I would be honest with yourself. 3 of Pentacles for your love and relations. So for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, the significant other is potentially saying something to you this week that you don't want to hear. That doesn't mean they're not right, okay? One of the messages behind the 3 of Pentacles is you're getting good advice, but because of where the advice is coming from, or maybe because you feel a little bit more sensitive than usual, you're kind of like, there's a refusal to hear it, all right? Just be mindful. When it comes to those of you that are single and looking, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a reconnection with a past partner, and I gotta be honest, right? Because it's the Devil card here. This could be somebody that you know is no good for you, but because of everything else that's going on, you're just kind of like, oh, you know, one final for old time's sake fling isn't going to do any harm. And I gotta be honest, with all the planets direct, whatever we're setting into motion now, it has the potential to snowball. And so you want to make sure that what you are sending into motion is stuff that you want. And if you're getting involved with somebody that you know brings out your worst traits or supports you making really bad decisions, that's something you really want to steer clear of this week. For your money and material, don't get me, I'm not going to sit here and say like, Raph is a saint that, you know, that has never transgressed in his life. Oh, come on. You know, I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying at this stage in my life, even if I was having a really, this isn't just have like a holier than thou moment, but I would, you know, if you know somebody brings out all of your worst traits, And when I say worst traits, maybe they don't make you a bad person, but they make you make bad decisions. You know, you go out till 3 a.m. on a school night. Why? Right? Like, just steer clear, ride it out. Okay, when it comes to your money, your finances and your resources, the Two of Pentacles is literally saying this week, I mean, that's a lot of Capricornian. In fact, this is a lot of Capricornian energy. All right, when it comes to your finances, be mindful of emotional spending this week. Definitely a case of buyer's remorse is potentially in there, especially if there's one, you know, buyer's remorse that comes with a hangover, even more possible. So just really be on top of this week. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, your knees, oh my gosh, your knees, just please be careful with yourself this week. Whatever your activities are, make sure you're doing your warm up, make sure you're doing your cool down, really support the joints of the body, especially because you've got the moon here as well. The moon coupled with the Two of Pentacles, water retention on the knees, stuff like that. So just really be careful with yourself. When it comes to your home and environment, good news, finally. It looks like a lot of you are putting money away for either buying a home or work that you're having done on the home. So this bodes very, very well. You're starting something that's going to be a long process, you know, maybe a year, 2 years, but it is a good, whatever you're starting or initiating, it's a good shout. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.